everybody, it's Deb Luttrell with Stitchin Heaven in Quitman, Texas, population 1809. Listen, I wanted to come to you today to talk to you about something that we did a few years ago. You know how things are really popular and everybody's doing them, and then they kind of fade out and then they come back again? Well, that is kind of the resurgence of these chenille quilts. Some of you back in the day may have made one. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about, but chenille quilts are really a lot of fun, especially now that we have so many different wonderful panels out. This particular project is made with panels. You can do chenille quilts all different kinds of ways, but today we're going to focus on the ones that are specifically made with panels. Now, there's really two ways to do this. You can use 3 panels and a backing, or you can use 4 panels and a backing. My little Minnie Mouse that's behind me here, we used 4 panels with her. What that does is it gives you a quilt that's a little heavier, it's a little fluffier, almost the weight though that you could put as like a rug in a bathroom, or maybe a rug in a child's room or whatever. If you want a little lighter weight project, you're going to want to go with 3 panels, which is what I'm going to do today. Now, what I'm going to do, the way we're going to work this, is I'm going to give you a little instruction on how to set this up. And then there's just a ton of sewing in this. So we're going to get it set up, and then we're going to all go sew, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the rest of it on another day. So let's get started. What you're going to need is you're going to need a panel backing that, of course, coordinates with your panel, preferably. I chose, for this project, ta-da, Frozen. Anybody who has a little girl in their life, ages, what, 3 years old to 12 years old, probably knows all about Frozen, has seen the movie a million times, has seen the second movie 500,000 times, and knows all the words to all the songs. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Now, what you want to do is you want to start out with your panel. You're going to get it, and you're going to want to press especially that middle wrinkle that comes in, you know, with fabric. You're going to want to make sure you go ahead and press that out. Just get it kind of pressed all over, actually. It's okay if it has a few little wrinkles in it. That's not going to matter because we're going to wash this in the end. But just in the sewing part, we want to make sure that we don't have any wrinkles. And then you're going to turn this upside down so that when this project is finished, the backing shows on the back and not the back of the backing. So let me show you on Minnie Mouse what this looks like. See, that was the backing that we chose for Minnie Mouse. So that kind of explains to you what we're doing here. So we're going to press that out. Then you're going to take the 3 panels. Now this is the panel that I'm going to go with for this one. Let me show it to you. It is so cute. This is all about Frozen too. Okay, or maybe that's just Frozen. I don't know. I think it's just probably Frozen. So we're going to start stacking these up, one on top of the other. Now, I have a yard of backing here. Both of these are the same width, right? Because fabric is generally, you know, 42 to 44 inches wide. So your panel may be wider. If it is, get more backing. Maybe it's a skinny panel. If it is, get less backing. But you just need enough backing that you can put your panels on it face up. So we're going to stack all of these together. And then as I stack them, I'm going to press out that middle crease like this. Okay. Then I'm going to take the next one, put it on top, just kind of line it up as best as you can at this point. All right. It's going to go there. Again, I'm going to press out that center crease. Just because that's the strongest crease on the fabric. And I really don't want to have to deal with that while I'm sewing it. And then the last one, I'll put that on top. Now, obviously you're going to want to make sure all of these 3 panels are going the same direction. And you'll see in just a minute why that is so important. All right. This is my last one, and I'm going to press the centerpiece on that one. Now, the next thing you have to do is you want to make sure that all 3 of these are in line all the way down. And it's kind of like when you do it's the exact same technique that you use when you make a magic stack and whack. We do this by using flathead pins. Now you can use other kind of pins. I love these for this kind of work. So these flathead pins, they look like this. The best ones in my opinion are from Clover. And you can get them from other companies. I've had some though that they're not sharp. Clovers are always sharp and they're thin. So that's the reason I like Clover. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start just putting our pins in and lining up these spaces. And I'm going to start with the corner. Also, I like to put this on my wool pressing mat. You know, I have a large wool pressing mat that I use on my sewing machine, on my ironing board. And this one is really great for this kind of work. Because you're going to take this and you're going to make sure that pin is straight up and down. And then you're going to pin it, catching the back. Just like that. Ouch! Stuck myself. All right. I'm going to move this over. All right, then I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to take that same point. I'm going to put it through the one. Put it through the next place, at the same place. And put it through the last place. And then I'm going to take my pin, and what I want to do is I want my pin to be standing up. Okay? So that means that's all the way through. And then I'm going to pin it to my backing. Okay? Then I'm going to take one more and I'm going to do it in the center. So I'm going to take the top, I'm going to put it through, and I'm going to put it through again. Make sure you can, here again, you can, if you're using your wool mat, you can pin that into your wool mat and kind of massage it around. And then you're going to pick it up and you're going to pin it in just like that. All right. Now you're going to continue to do that all the way down this panel. So I'll do another few of these just to be sure we got this. Once you get started, you're going to find that it's very, very close. So I only had to adjust that one a little bit. All right. In the middle here, I'm going to take a spot like a spot on this leaf. And I'm going to put it through the center. There's my spot on the leaf. spot on the leaf, and spot on the leaf. So I'm going to put that in my ironing pad. I'm going to adjust it so that my pin is standing upright, and then I'm going to pin it. Okay? Now then I'm going to do one more across the top, which is right here. The side, all those are the same place. Stick my pin in my wool mat. Make sure it's upright, and then you just pin it over. All right. Now, when you get to about the middle, you're going to have to start working from the middle, or you won't be able to get to it. We were able to get to this one, but when we get into here, you need to work from the middle first and then out. So, I'm going to talk to Elsa, or is this Anna?
That's Elsa.
That's Elsa? Okay. We're going to say, we're going to start with Elsa, and we're going to put the pin right there in Elsa. And then we're going to, there she is. See, we're already lined up really great on that one. And let's see how close we are. Okay, look, we are almost perfect. So we're already to the point to where our three panels are getting really close to being lined up properly. So I'm going to just pin that over once I get it. All right. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go ahead and go on down the center on this. All right, so let's do another one. This is probably, I've got that point right there, which is right there. And, oh yeah, perfect. That one was lined up already, so it's really, really at the right spot. Now, when you're doing a stack and whack, it's critical that this is really, really close. And you really do, really take a lot of pains with it to make sure it's exactly right. That is not really required so much on this. Close is good. And you're going to be really close on this. So with this one, I'm going to take this little snowflake right there. I'm going to put my pin in. It's already there. It's already there. So we're getting really, really, really close on this every time now. All right. All right. So then all I have to do now is I need to go down the sides and line up the sides. So I'll go ahead and do that. There's that one. Right here, here, and here. Perfect. Then I'm going to line up another one to match that. Here, that's lined up, and that's lined up. So as you get these going, it becomes easier and easier. And then my last one I'm going to do, I'm going to do the corners. And that corner needs to come over here. And you can kind of massage it around like this. I've got a piece right there that's got a wrinkle in it, so I'm pulling that out. I'm going to do that corner again. There. There. And there. So kind of spread it out like that. All right. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do one in the center. Continuing to, to press it out with my hand. And I know some of you are going to ask where I got my little pincushion. I have had this thing for about 20 years. It's a Mary Engelbreit, and they aren't available anywhere, so sorry. I would love to be able to get you one, but that's pretty much a collector's item. So we've got that one. Yeah. So that's all set. All right, now I'm going to come over on the side and we're going to do the same on this side. And most of these are going to be lined up already, you guys, because we've done such a good job so far of pinning in the center. So that one was lined up. This one's going to be pretty close. Yep. And then, last but not least, is going to be our corner. Alrighty. That one goes there. And now we're done. Okay, so that wasn't so painless. Once you get the panels pinned together, you're going to want to draw a line from corner to corner. Now, one rule about chenille is that you cannot draw straight lines. You cannot sew in a straight line. You have to sew at an angle. And the closer to a 45-degree angle you can sew, the better. We did Minnie just sewing her from tip to tip. All right, we just sewed all the way across. But that's not the only way you can do it, and I want to show you, ouch, I want to show you another way. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to take your long ruler, my 24-inch ruler, and you're going to start marking this across the width of the panel. If y'all don't have one of these, you guys, this is the most amazing marking pencil. It's called the Soline Trio. What's wonderful about it is not only does it have a really great just carbon like a pencil lead, it also has a really great white lead, which is so hard to find. So I'm going to use the white on this because I'm afraid my carbon won't show up because there's so much dark on this panel. So I want to start marking this just at an angle across the panel, just like this. And it doesn't have to be a dark line, you just have to be able to see it. Okay? And then I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to continue marking it. Now, you say, oops, that's not going to go from corner to corner. Well, that's okay. It's not intended to go from corner to corner. The main thing is that it's not a straight line. It's an angle. So this quilt we're going to make a little more interesting than many because we're going to sew in different directions. All right, so I have this line that's coming this way up to here. Okay, it doesn't have to go from corner to corner. Okay, then I'm also going to take and I'm going to mark a line from where my marked line is here off to one side. And again, it does not have to go from corner to corner. So don't stress over that. If you want to line it up exactly corner to corner, you can, but you don't have to. And so for this project, I'm not going to. I'm going to purposely mark it just as long as it's straight. Okay? Now, when I start to sew this, I'm going to be sewing from here to here, on this side all the way down. Then I'm going to finish that section and I'm going to come back. On this section, I'm going to sew from here to here all the way down. And then from this section, I'm going to sew from here to here all the way down. So we're going to have 3 different directions going on here. Here, here, and here. Does that make sense? Okay, so how do I get started? We can get started sewing. I want to take some tape, first of all. Now I use just plain old blue, purple, whatever painter's tape for this because you're only going to need to mark your first seam. So that first white seam that I drew, you know, and I told you don't worry about it if it's not very dark, you just have to be able to see it. You are going to put your tape right on that marked line. Okay? And then we're going to push this down some. All the way across. So you've got a really good straight line. Now, this is your beginning guide to sewing. So what you're going to do is you're going to sew starting from here all the way down that line where you marked it. So we're going to sew and we're going to sew and we're going to sew. Then when we get to the end, right here, all you have to do is sew off a little and then turn your presser foot, and you're going to sew about 1/2 inch on the other side of this. And you need to find on your presser foot how to measure that distance. It doesn't have to be exact, but I would suggest about 1/2 inch. And then every time you sew, you're going to sew another 1/2 inch away from that line. So it's just really, really easy. I'm going to go sew this, and then I'm going to come back and show you the rest of the steps. So I'll see you in a little bit. guys, I'm back with you. I've been working on this, and this is what my project looks like. I'm going to just show you what I've done. What I did was I took my tape and I put it from across diagonally. Remember I told you that you have to do this at a 45-degree angle. So you can do it where you do your channels all the same direction throughout the whole project, which is what we did with Minnie Mouse here. Or you can draw your tape across your project like I did on this one, and I sewed this side this direction, and I sewed this side this direction. So you can see, I'm going to hold this up so we can zoom in on it. I feel like, what was his name, Wilson? All right, so everybody see what I've done there? Now then, here's the deal. You have to cut through those 3 layers that we're working with. You can use a pair of scissors, and you can take this, and you can cut this down the 3 layers. You want to make sure you don't cut the backing, but you have to cut through 3 layers. So I can take this and you cut down the center. It took me about, I'm going to say 4 to 5 hours to do this stitching, just to give you an idea of what kind of time you want to be able to commit to this. All right. So yeah, you have to stay in the center, which is a little tricky. Now, you guys, if you have to do that for every single one of these, do you know how long it's going to take you? It's going to take you a long time. So, enter the handy dandy Olfa Chenille cutter. If you are going to do this, you have to get yourself one of these. I got to get myself one of these. I think that was Will Smith who said that about a spaceship in one of the movies he did. So what you're going to do, what I like to do with this is I start this out with a clip of my scissors just to get me started. Now let me just show you. This is just so fun. That's it. So the way this works is there's different sizes, and you're just going to have to find the size that fits your sewing the best. And you put your blade there, and then you just kind of get it started. So you can get it started without that little clip. Probably the hardest thing on this is just to make sure you have all 3 layers. Okay? As you do this, you're going to do it 3 or 4, maybe a dozen times. Okay, I grabbed it there. And then it'll get harder to do. When it starts getting more difficult, all you have to do is you take it and you turn it a click. And that changes the blade position. So now your blade is new again. So you can just keep doing that and you go through the whole thing. Now let me just show you one thing over here. When you go on this side where we've done the sewing at the different angle, there's just one little thing if you decide to do it this way. Now you don't have to, you can do it like this and you just zip, 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 zip. I kind of made this a little bit harder for myself. Oh, I have to put it in the right slot. So this you're gonna stop where you get to this seam, and you have to take a pair of scissors and you have to finish cutting that, and you just clip that down to the edge. And what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll do all of this with my cutter, and then I'm going to come back and use my scissors. I like this pair of Tula Pink scissors for this, and we're going to put a link in the description for you to be able to get these. These are awesome, very great quality scissors, and they are just the right size to be able to make that clip. You can very easily put that in there. Let me do it one more time. Okay, so when I go to there, it stops, but that cut is not close enough to the seam, so I can go ahead and clip it. So, all right, so that's it. So what I've got to do now is I'm going to take this and finish cutting the channels. I am going to wash, I'm going to bind this first, and then I'm going to wash this, and I'm going to rough this up, and I'm going to use a brush to do that, and I'll show that to you when I come back next time in a little bit. And then I'll show you the finished product, and I'll talk to you about it a little bit more. So anyway, I hope you're going to love this. I will be back with you in just a few days. Hey everybody, it's Deb again. I am back with our finished product. This is what I did with our chenille panel. If you remember, we're doing 3 layers of chenille on 3 panels on this one, and it actually turned out to be lighter. So if you're going to do this for a covering, I recommend 3 panels. If you're going to do it for a rug, I recommend 4, which would be like this one here that's hanging behind me. Now, a couple things with this. I did do my chenille cutting with my cutter prior to putting on my binding. So do all your cutting, then put on your binding. Now, I made 2 mistakes, and I did not correct them because I wanted to show them to you. Because you're going to put this in the washer, and you're going to wash it, and the more you wash it, the fluffier it's going to get. However, if you miss a channel, it's going to look like this. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see where I missed 2 channels. There's one here and there's one here. So can you see that? Yeah. So what I will do now is I will go back. I'll take my scissors. I'll cut just a little notch right here, making sure that I don't grab the background or the backing. And then I'll take my little chenille cutter and I will slice down those 2, and I will rewash this. And that'll kind of pull it all in together. So what I end up with is this adorable piece that I can now get to my little granddaughter at any time, and she will love it because she loves Frozen. But there's all kinds of things that you can do with this technique, you guys. You can do it for a man. Let me show you some samples of some panels that we have that you may want to think about doing this. This would be a great one for something maybe like a wall hanging, even to hang in a man's study. This one I have seen done as a rug. So I recommend, if you're going to do a rug, do 4 panels on this one. We've also got a coordinating backing from this fabric that would be darling. This would be very, very sweet in a nursery or a child's room. We also have this one that would be a great one for you to think about if you want something holiday. This would be a great option. I've seen this done, and it works up very beautiful. And then last but not least, we've got these big real tree panels. These outdoors ones work up really well. This is big enough that it'd be a nice little cover just in itself. So you may want to think about that. We're going to put some of these links in the description below this tutorial so you can find them, or just go to our page and search panels, and it'll bring all of our panels up for you along with all the tools that we've used in this tutorial. So anyway, Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to be in line to be able to be notified when we have new tutorials. We'd love to come and show you. And let us know if you have any questions. I'm Deb Luttrell with Stitchin Heaven, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.